5 years of YouTube and I lost my credibility because I was clear in stating that I've only reached the first ending and these are my thoughts on the game so far. That seems like a stretch, but if those are your standards, I guess thanks for dropping by. I'm about to pretend that we're this huge YouTube channel so big that we get so many comments that I can't actually reply to all of them manually. So many comments, in fact, that I gotta make a video replying to comments, and some of them at least, otherwise I just can't reach out to you guys. All joking aside, some comments actually require a more elaborate answer, and I don't feel like typing, so that's a good reason to make a video, right? Planeta Calvo on the Killing the Hype video says, just like Guitar Hero, Dance Dance whatever, I think he means just dance. Probably. Assassin's Creed or Far Cry, they won't be able to milk the franchise for life, as they seem to want to, if they don't make heavy and organic improvements on the game core, just like the Dragon Ball in video games, which was treading waters until Xenoverse came out and it got revived. I really don't know at this point what can really get me back into the Naruto games franchise, but this game is not the answer for sure. I don't know if that Xenoverse revived Dragon Ball games. I think it did one thing right, which was give the players the ability to create their own character within the universe and customize it however they would like, but the popularity of Xenoverse isn't as big as Budokai Tenkaichi was back in the day. In fact, Xenoverse 2 was heavily criticized for being kinda like an upgrade from the first game, so in a way it feels like they're going down that route of making it an annual franchise, or biannual at least. Because, you know, those two games are pretty much the same. If they announce a third one, then we'll know for sure. And I think this Naruto to Boruto game is actually very different from the Storm games, so we're not really talking about the same things here. In fact, we got another comment from Javontes Birdsong. He said, well, it's something new, tired of playing Ultimate Ninja Storm games. So yeah, they are trying something different, and that's something, I guess. But I don't think it's something completely different from the Storm games. In fact, as I stated in the video, it feels like they took that mini-game mode and made it into a whole game. And that doesn't necessarily feel new to me, but hey, it's only a trailer. We'll see more as the development continues. King Zaku on Quick Reviews number 5, he said, to be honest, I couldn't finish watching your video after the Nier review. I did finish Nier, and I have to say yes, many critiques regarding it are justified, and it does have its flaws, but you have lost all credibility by stating I finished Nier and have only played it once. Dude, you didn't finish 1/3 of it, you cannot review a game if you haven't finished it, this is called first impressions, etc, etc, etc. I did reply to this comment, actually, saying that, hey, I think we were pretty clear in saying that I only reached the first ending and I didn't actually finish the game. Just said that I didn't feel like playing it anymore because of all the problems it had. He was actually very receptive to my reply, and he further elaborated, you know, correcting some of the stuff he did, but basically the main message he's trying to send is that I shouldn't be calling these reviews. If I haven't finished the game, don't call it a review. That's pretty simple. And although I tend to agree with that statement, I also think video game reviews are sort of a flimsy thing that needs to change in this day and age. This is a subject for a whole other video. In fact, something we'll probably record next week is talk about video game reviews in general and how the industry needs to adapt. Think of something like Mass Effect Andromeda, for instance. Mass Effect came out, it had a ton of problems, but they had a patch recently where they fixed a lot of those problems. So should reviewers go back to their review and update their score? But the thing is, like, that review is gonna get all the views on release day, and then people are not gonna care if the score changes or not, or at least most people won't. It will just be a small minority. And I think that's the advantage of making something like we are with quick reviews. We come back to it every 2 weeks or so, and we get to update the review as we're playing the game. Could we call it something else and not review? Yes, we could. The word review is only there for search engine optimization purposes. That's it. But then again, I think we can get away with it because we say quick reviews. It's not like we're going in depth and talking about stuff like that. And again, we're very clear in stating always how many hours we are into the game, if we finished it or not. And on the Nier note, I actually went back to Nier and talked about it on quick reviews 6 and 7. I'll definitely update my score once I finish the game. And to your point about me losing my credibility, 5 years of YouTube and I lost my credibility because I was clear in stating that I've only reached the first ending and these are my thoughts on the game so far. That seems like a stretch, but if those are your standards, I guess thanks for dropping by. Have a safe journey to whatever other channel you go to. Miguel Carvalho on the upcoming video games of April 2017 asks Dragon Quest Heroes 2 and then follows up with Nevermind found it, but it's not a re-release or a remaster, it's the North American release. To which I replied, the game is out on PS4 and the Switch, stuff that isn't new falls to that final segment, I probably need a better name for it. He follows up with, yeah, I understand, but Persona 5 should fall on that too, as it is already released in Japan. I do need a better name for that final segment of the upcoming video games, or I should just not separate it at all. The thing about, you know, putting re-releases and remasters along with the new games is that it creates a lot of clutter, and I think those brand new big titles, they deserve a spotlight. So I tend to take the HD remasters, the collections, the remakes, and put them all at the end of the video. And I've been doing the same for games that come out in Europe in 1 month, but the next month they come out in North America. One exception to that is games that come out in Japan, because I don't have a big Japanese audience, and when stuff comes into the Western market, I usually put it together with the new games. However, Dragon Quest Heroes, it was only out in Japan, and I put it at the end of the segment. That was a lapse in my research. I didn't know that. I guess I should have looked into it a bit better. Nevertheless, I think I need a new name for that final segment, and if you guys have any ideas, do let me know. And I gotta close this video with a comment from Golden Eagle, because he's been commenting on every single video, and it's always like this huge thing. I usually take the time to read it. I usually don't take the time to reply because they're huge comments. I could pick pretty much any comment, but let's go to the more recent one. Again, on the Killing the Hype video, I'm gonna put this out there. I never watched Naruto. Like, I have only seen one episode of Naruto vs. Pain where he used a big-ass shuriken from his chakra and he threw it and made a big crater. I think it was about 6 years ago. Yes, he made a wind shuriken and made a big hole. He did that. Your memory is correct. Naruto 4 I have played just recently. I have never done the story because I know nothing about that, so I want to watch the anime at some point. But either way, I think this falls into the same pitfalls as Dragon Ball Z games do. Not enough change. They try new mechanics, and for the sake of examples of what I know about, Raging Blast was a great step up, as if changed the whole way to fight. Then Xenoverse came out and was even better, worked out all the kinks that came from Battle of the Gods Z or whatever. See, I think you don't give these games enough credit though. And I'm not talking about the new Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker. I'm talking about the Ultimate Ninja Storm games, which, yes, the core mechanics, the fighting system is pretty much the same, but the fact that you don't play the story means you're overlooking a major part of this game. The single-player story campaigns sometimes can carry these games on their own. There are some exceptions in the Storm games, but Storm 4 is a perfect example of them really delivering on storytelling, and they did that before the anime did the story. Phrased it weird. The manga finished the story, and then the game finished the story in an animated version before the anime ever did it. And they did it in a phenomenal way, and they introduced new game mechanics through the story that are not present in the basic combat system. Stuff like wall running, stuff like controlling massive beasts and killing hordes of minions. So I understand your criticism that the combat system was kind of the same and was iterated on, but then again, I like that basis for the full game that they develop around it. And I never felt like the Naruto Storm games didn't have enough new content to justify a purchase. And, you know, a big part of that was the story mode. So it's not like you mentioned in your comment that it's doing the same thing as FIFA, Madden, etc. because, you know, you're overlooking this whole side of the game. And then he ends with, I really agree on the Boruto thing. I assume Naruto's child. Yes, you are correct. Supposed to be his own game, not Naruto. Either way, shame really. I'd rather have them spend more time on these rather than corner cutting and taking the same stuff from Xenoverse. Naruto deserves better. I've only heard good things about it. I sort of wish they took more from Xenoverse. Looking at some other comments, Gaming Ninja for example, I want a remake of the original Naruto, but a huge open world adventure story type. I think I saw someone else saying that they would like to create their own Naruto character. So yeah, in a way, I sort of wish they would take more from Xenoverse in terms of character creation and customization, and then put it into a Naruto game. Yeah, and obviously some people disagree with me and they think the trailer looks good, and that's fine. That's your opinion. On that video, I just wanted to say I was not too optimistic, but I'm open to seeing how the game develops, and I'll keep up with it. Anyway, that's me reading comments. Let me know if you want more of this or not. This was an experiment, and thanks for watching. If you want to leave comments or questions for me to answer in the next episode, if there is a next episode, depends on how well this does. But hey, if you have personal questions or gaming questions, throw them my way. I don't know when I'm gonna be answering them, so try not to make it too time sensitive. Thanks for watching, folks. Bye.